So in this one, we're going to be looking at parking space dimensions. Now, we typically use a 2.4 by 4.7, up to 5 meters, depending on what space we've got, and up to 3 meters wide if we've got the space available. Typically for a supermarket, somewhere like that, we're going to drop down to a 2.4, get as many spaces in as we can. Whereas, North America, we've got so much room for your parking lots, you might be able to go to a 3 meter wide, 5 meter in length. That'll work absolutely amazing. Now, typically for the US, you're going to be working in feet, so you might go 8.5 to 9 feet by around 18 feet in length. That'll be quite standard, whereas here in Europe, we'd use 2.4 by 4.7 and then just go up a little bit from there. Now, typically these are going to be a 4-inch or 100 mil white line that we put in that you can see along here. And then when we're doing disabled bays or accessible parking spaces, we typically move that into a yellow. Now, the line dimension's exactly the same. The only difference we have is that we're going to add an additional 1.2 meters onto the back and to the sides. This is to allow access for people getting in and out of the car, as well as also getting their wheelchair out if they need to as well. So typically for this one, we're going to add in the 1.2 onto one side at least. So this is on the driver's side if they're pulling nose in. And then also they've got the space on the back. In addition, we've then got the disabled logo. So for this one here, it's a 1.2 by 800 mil. Now again, there are going to be different regulations on this depending on whereabouts you are in the world. Also, you can make this really nice by adding in, say, a blue background as opposed to just leaving the tarmac. So you can paint all of this in, make it really stand out nice and effectively, really, really bold. And I think they look amazing. But if that's not within your project scope, I would simply use the 1.2 by 800 logo. I would add the 1.2 meters of hatching on the side and literally make it the exact same size as every other parking space. Now, when it comes to adding spaces opposite each other, so for example, we've got the parking spaces here, what we're going to do is, let's say, add more parking spaces over that side. If you're in North America, you might want typically between 14 and 24 feet, whether it's a single or 2 lanes between. Here in Europe, you typically go for around 6 meters. Now that allows 2 lanes of traffic to go past, but it also gives you enough room to sort of pull in and out of the spaces without hitting anybody opposite. Now, obviously, car parks are incredibly small in Europe in comparison to North America, so we simply don't have the room that you guys might have. So I would go at least 6 meters between. If you can get further, great, but even that's quite a push in a lot of car parks. Let's go into another video and I'm going to show you how we actually install the parking spaces.